still optimistic that Dex could get on the field this week at some point?
Yeah, I'm hopeful. He'll be out here on Friday. That's what I'm hoping.
Is there anything Evan can do to, I don't know, like it feels like kind of a lost season for him with all the injuries and whatnot. Is there anything he can do besides practice to get better? Joe said he needs to get better. Is there anything he's doing right now to get better?
Yeah, he's rehabbing. He's in here often with the trainers, doing everything he can do to get it back as soon as he can.
How about just in terms of his football techniques? I mean, is he able to do what's he able to do?
Yeah, he's really rehabbing with the trainers. Obviously active in the meetings, does a good job there. So he's doing everything he can do.
Daniel is obviously in the very early stages of his rehab. He's here a lot, I would assume.
Yep. No, he is. Yeah. I mean, he was here the day after, pretty much, already starting on the rehab with the trainers. Saw him yesterday. Was walking. He had his big brace on, but Daniel, he'll do everything he can do to rehab and get as good as he can.
How engaged is he? I mean, he's got his own things to worry about, obviously, but in the meetings with the quarterbacks. And
yeah, I'd say he's really focusing right now on his rehab the best he can, and certainly if he's got something to say or help out those guys, he's there.
Is that you've been through that with guys, I mean, who get hurt early, and you kind of have to give them their space and not you need to be more involved. You need to do this. You kind of have to read the room and see what's going on with those guys.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is for the player to be able to start rehabbing. Obviously, it depends on the injury that you have, and in this case, it's surgery for his ACL. So I think his priority is to do everything he can in the training room, rehab, do all those necessary things to start improving after the surgery.
Dave, why has Isaiah Hodgins been such a minor part of an offense when you could argue he was a big part of last year's success at the end, especially?
Yeah, we rotate a good amount of players. Him and Jalen play the same spot, so you either have Jalen, you have Isaiah. Isaiah has his role, Jalen has his role. There's, I'd say, different personnel groups that we utilize for both those guys. So when his personnel group's up, he's in. When Jalen's is up, he's in.
It just doesn't make sense, though, that Isaiah played such a key role last year. It doesn't make sense to me. And now is truly an afterthought. And he did have the one touchdown in the game where Jalen had the big game, against the Patriots.
Yeah, I'd say those guys do a good job of, again, there's a variety of personnel groups we use, and whoever's in there for that personnel group, that's the receivers, whether it's 3, whether it's 2, whether it's 1 or 4. But he's been a good teammate. He's worked extremely hard.
But with Tyrod, like how did you see him process the news that you gave him on the practice field, in the locker room, things like that?
Yeah, like a pro, like I said yesterday. Came out, had a good practice yesterday. He's a true pro.
Obviously, we know he's a pro.
Yeah.
Do you worry at all about the perception that it could send to the team that it doesn't give you the best chance to win, that you are looking to the future maybe while trying to win? I'm not saying you're not trying to win.
Yeah.
But
No. I said I covered that yesterday. Reason why we went with Tommy, and we're moving forward.
What would it take for Tyrod to win back that starting job? How are you going to kind of view that?
Yeah, we're getting ready here for Green Bay. Talked about that yesterday relative to Tommy being the starter, and that's how we're moving forward.
One thing we didn't talk about yesterday is, I'm curious, what was ownership's role in this? Did they get involved in that, or do they just say, or do you run it by them, or do you just take care of that yourself? Is that on you?
Yeah, no, I'd say we have good communication, but ultimately I make that decision.
He did give us a couple of no comments yesterday, which isn't like him normally. Did he share anything with you that you could tell us to shed more light on how he did accept the decision? Because the no comments indicated he wasn't necessarily happy.
Yeah, no, we had a good conversation. Like I said, he's a true pro. We talk a lot, Ty and I, or really all the quarterbacks. You'd have to ask him about that. We talked yesterday, we talked today. Again, as a true competitor, you'd be disappointed. I think any of us would be disappointed. But he's a true pro.